If you want to rep up at the fastest possible speed and unlock cap breakers quickly, then you came to the right video. In this video, I'll be giving you all the best methods to rep up the absolute fastest in NBA 2K26 so that you can get cap breakers and all of the other rep rewards as quick as possible. Without wasting any time, let's go ahead and get straight into the first section of the video, which is how rep really works. A lot of players don't actually know this, but the main thing that decides how much rep you get in game is your teammate grade. If you feel like you're repping up slower than everybody else, you're probably not watching your teammate grade. It's in the top right of your screen and it moves up or down based on how you're playing in the game. So if you have a turnover, your teammate grade is going to go down, but if you make a shot, your teammate grade is going to go up. A+ is the best teammate grade possible. That is what you want to aim for. If you go any lower than A+, then you are going to get less rep. You also want to make sure that you win the game that you're playing. If you lose the game, even if you have a high teammate grade, it's not going to matter because when you lose, you get a lot less rep. Trust me, once you start aiming for an A+ teammate grade, you are going to notice that you are going to start repping up at a way faster speed. Now going ahead and getting into main rep method number 1, and that method is going to be the starting 5 method. Now this method right here is my personal favorite rep method. Now I really like this rep method because number 1, you don't need any teammates. It's basically just a 1v1 against another player. And then number 2, the amount of rep you get is insane. Now to do this method, you want to go ahead and go right here on the map. The starting 5 is right across from the stage and it is next to the rec center. And then once you are here, you want to go ahead and go in. Now once you go ahead and go into the starting 5, you're going to be put in this lobby right here. And both of these 2 doors right here put you in a matchmaking queue to put you in a game for the starting 5. Now in terms of the best build or the best strategy for the starting 5, there really isn't one. I'm going to be showing y'all a method in game for what I do personally, but as long as you're getting an A+ teammate grade and you're winning your games, it doesn't really matter. But once you have your build picked out, the next thing to do is going to be to start a starting 5 game. And to do that, you want to go ahead and walk through that door right there or the other door on the other side. And from there, your MyPlayer is going to be put in this like play now queue where you get to pick any NBA team that you want. Now on screen, I'm going to have the best possible options for what NBA teams to pick. I'm on a guard, so me personally, I want to have a center that can set me good screens. Me personally, I prefer the Spurs because who doesn't want to have a 7'4" center on their team? Now, once you are in the game, there are a few different things you want to make sure you're doing. Like I said, the main thing here is going to be prioritizing getting an A+ teammate grade and winning the game. That is going to be our main goal here. So on the defensive side of the ball, what I recommend doing is, well, there's really one of 2 things you can do. You can either A, guard the other person on the other team, which I would say is riskier, but you can get steals and blocks and things of that nature. Right there, we didn't get a steal. But as you can see in the top right, you are going to get defensive breakdowns if you play bad defense. And if you want to avoid that, when I'm back on defense, I'll show y'all what to do. Now on the offensive side of the ball, what you want to do is basically call a screen every single play. If you have the other person on the other team who is a real player on you, I recommend running the pick and roll. Now the workaround if you don't want to get defensive breakdowns is going to be to switch with one of your teammates and just guard somebody off ball. So as you can see, we just got to stop right there and I wasn't even guarding ball. The way you switch is you hit the right bumper and you hit the icon of the person that you want to guard. When you do that, you will literally never get defensive breakdowns. It is kind of scummy. No one really likes an off baller, but if you don't want to get defensive breakdowns and you want to get that A+ teammate grade, not guarding ball is a good idea. But as you can see right there, pick and roll, wide open, that's a free assist, and that is going to boost our teammate grade. Another thing you can do on the offensive side of the ball that is going to get you a lot of free buckets is going to be calling plays. It's really crazy because a lot of people in the starting 5 don't really utilize plays, but they can get you a free bucket. Now what you want to do to call plays, if you have the ball, of course, you want to hit the left bumper, you want to hit the icon of the player you want to call a play for, and then you want to call a play that is on the right side of the screen. The best plays in my opinion are going to be floppy, receive screen, and cut to basket. Cut to basket is my personal favorite because it is literally a free bucket, especially with somebody like Wemby. Pretty much every time you get him the ball in the paint, he is going to go up with it and he's going to make it because he's so tall. And you really want to take advantage of those players on your team that either have a high close shot rating or are really tall. One more thing I forgot to mention is if you are beating or blowing out the other person that you're playing against, I would recommend holding the ball until there's like barely any time on the shot clock and then going and scoring. And the reason I would do that is because if you score any quicker, the game clock stops for a little bit and then it allows for the game to continue even longer. So what I recommend doing whenever you're winning is just wasting as much time as you can and then going and scoring, because obviously our goal is to get the most amount of rep, but we also want to aim to get the game done quick, because if we get it done quick, we're going to be able to get into another game quicker, therefore stacking up even more reps. So that's what we want to try and do. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the starting 5 method. Again, you just want to aim for an A+ teammate grade. You also want to make sure that you win the game. And yeah, that right there is the starting 5 method, the best rep method in the entire game. That is the method that I highly recommend you do. Now getting into main rep method number 2, and that is going to be the crew 2x rep method. Now if you were in a crew, you know that at every single level you get different rewards, and if you take a look at the level 28 reward, you get permanent double rep. Now your team does have to be entirely made up of crew members, and unfortunately it doesn't work in the starting 5, but literally any mode you could think of for the most part, whether it be stage, rec, the park, proving grounds, any mode that you play where you have your entire team made up of people in your crew and you are level 28, you are going to get double rep in that game. And that's really huge, because in any other past 2K, the only way that you could get double rep was during events, or if you got lucky and got double rep off the wheel. But if your crew is at level 28, you are going to be able to get permanent double rep as long as your team is made up of crew members. And a lot of y'all would think, okay, so that means I can play any mode and rep up at a really fast speed. That's not really true. Now there are really 2 main game modes that I would recommend if you want to rep grind with the crew 2x rep bonus, and that is going to be the park and the rec. Now I would recommend the park over the rec because I feel like you would get more rep if you played an hour of park as opposed to an hour of rec. You're also going to get more games in the park, and you're going to get the games done a lot quicker than you will in the rec. Don't get me wrong, you will get a lot more rep per game in the rec, but those games take pretty long. There's a lot of timeouts that happen, there's a lot of fouls that happen, and the rep you'll get per game does reflect the time that you're spending in there. But in the park, you're gonna get the games done so quick to where I would recommend the park over the rec. But no matter what mode you pick, make sure you are aiming for an A+ teammate grade and that you are trying to win the game. If you do both of those 2 things, you are gonna get the most rep possible for that game. Make sure you are doing that. Getting into rep method number 3, which is going to be the events method. Now the events method isn't as good as rep method 1 or rep method 2, but it is still a really good rep method, and I definitely recommend it. Now depending on when you are watching this video, it will vary for what events are actually on. The way you can see what events are actually on, you want to hit options, you want to go to the seasons tab, and then you want to go to the season events tab. And as you can see right here is a big list of all of the events for, it's currently season 5, so here are all the events for season 5. So the next event is Wear and Earn Wednesday, and as you can see, you get 2x rep by wearing the designated clothing. Basically what that means is they make you buy a certain shirt or whatever it is that it makes you buy, and if you wear it, you get double the rep for every game played. Blackout is a really good event. This one is on March 6th. I highly recommend doing this one because you can actually get 48-hour 2x rep if you complete the Blackout bingo card, and you can actually get the 2x rep in the starting 5. So I highly recommend doing that. As I mentioned, starting 5 in my opinion is the best rep method in the game, and 48-hour 2x rep in the starting 5 is going to take you crazy places in terms of rep. I'm not going to go over every single event. Coach 2x rep, St. Patrick's Day, y'all can take a look through these, but all you really need to know is that every game in every single event is going to give you double the rep for one game, which means that if you do not have a crew that is level 28 or higher, you definitely want to make sure that you are playing the events games. But like I said, events are held every weekend and every Wednesday. Sometimes they're held on different days, but you really just have to check. Make sure you play events. They are vital for getting rep in NBA 2K26. Now moving on to method number 4, this is another really good method right here, and that is going to be spinning the daily rewards and doing your daily quests. Now first we're going to talk about the daily quests because a lot of people don't actually know this, but daily quests, if you complete all 3 of them, you get an hour of double rep. So we're going to go ahead and go to daily challenges, and as you can see, daily challenges 1 out of 3 completed. If I complete them, I get 1 hour 2x rep. And as you can see, the daily challenges themselves are pretty easy. Win a 5v5 game, that's easy. Make your daily predictions at the daily pick'em, that's also very easy. But the reason the 2x rep is so good is because you are actually going to be able to use that 2x rep that you get in the starting 5. And like I mentioned earlier in the video for method number 1, if you get 2x rep and you use it in the starting 5, you get by far the most amount of rep possible in the entire game. As long as you make sure you get an A+ teammate grade and that you actually win, you are going to get an insane amount of rep. And the daily challenges and the daily rewards are actually the only two ways you were able to get double rep in the starting 5. There's literally no other way to get it. Even during events, 2K usually makes it to where you can't get double rep in the starting 5 during events. Like, it's crazy. So when you get that double rep from your daily challenges, make sure you go play some starting 5 games. You can probably fit in 2 starting 5 games if you do it quickly. And then along with the daily challenges, another thing you need to make sure you're doing is your daily rewards. Now this one is more of a toss-up than the daily challenges. Daily challenges, you get an hour of double rep if you complete all of the stuff. But on daily rewards, it is kind of up to a chance. You're kind of spinning a wheel to see what you can get. There is a chance that you can get, I think it's up to like 4 hours double rep or like 2 hours double rep, something like that. We ended up getting a Carmelo Anthony banner, but if you get lucky, and it does happen pretty frequently, you can actually get double rep from the wheel. If you do actually manage to get double rep from the wheel, again, it's the same drill. I would highly recommend you go play starting 5, because in there you get by far the most amount of rep you can possibly get in the entire game. Now moving on to rep method number 5, this is another really good method, and that is going to be playing the park MVP. If we hit up on the D-pad and we take a look at the bottom right of the screen, we are going to see the park MVP of this park. Now, as you can see, it is always going to be a really high rep, really sweaty player, but if you take a look at the very bottom of the bottom right, you're going to see it says 5 times rep plus 5 times VC available. If you beat the park MVP, you literally get 5 times the rep and 5 times the VC. Now, don't get me wrong, beating these players, I mean, if we take a look at his clan name is literally lag switch him. So he's probably zenning, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. But you can get lucky and there could be a easier park MVP. Now, don't get me wrong, like no park MVP is going to be easy, but if we take a look at the guy who is the park MVP right now, and we go look at his 2K card, he's a lot easier to beat. Like, this is a guy that I could definitely see myself beating just as a regular game. Like, he just looks like a regular player to me. 58 win percent, that's pretty solid, but it's nothing crazy. 73 point percent is pretty good, but for a park MVP, that's not crazy. There is a 3-hour cooldown to getting the 5 times rep from beating the park MVPs. So once you beat them, you're not going to be able to get that 5 times rep for another 3 hours. But doing that every 3 hours is a crazy way to get a lot of rep from one game. I just gave out all of the best rep methods in the game for completely free, and if you want to help out the channel in return, go ahead and subscribe. But if you want to progress your MyPlayer to 99 overall and get him maxed out at the fastest possible speed, click the video on screen. If you're tired of taking forever to grind out your builds, then that video is for you.